Do you feel stuck in life, need change desperately? Because if you do, you might be where I was at about 15 years ago. My life basically was video games, and that's basically about it. I was stuck inside of my room. I had no friends, I had no social circumstances, I had no social confidence. Nothing really was going for me. The only thing I was good at was playing video games. And as you can imagine, I felt extremely frustrated, but I somehow never found a way out. It felt like I was stuck inside of this loop. But there was one game that I played. It's called Path of Exile. Maybe you know it. One thing it's kind of known for is the skill tree. The common skill tree in that game that's made of 1,000 nodes. It's known to overwhelm people because of its sheer size. There are so many options, so many things you could choose from, so many things you could do. But I see life as basically the same. You have 1,000 options. You have 1,000 skills that you could improve, but you don't know which one you should choose. It's overwhelming. So you do the thing that you always do. You play video games. Maybe you chill on TikTok. You waste your time in some kind of way. But this is also the problem. You don't really do anything that could change your life. Now, if I think back, there were, of course, many factors that have improved my life to the place that I'm at now. Having a relationship, being in sales, much more confident in myself. But if I could say there were a few things that were major and changed my life, I would say those were four things. The first one being to become better at communicating with people. I can't tell you how much my life has changed because I've learned to communicate with people much better. If there's one thing, it's this. Because no matter what you do in life, it's about communicating with people. We are social creatures, and everything you do, whether you want to improve in career, whether you want to do X, Y, or Z, it's always related to somehow communicating with people. Let's say you're an engineer and you're extremely good at your craft. You're a 10 out of 10 when it comes to engineering, but you're maybe a 3 or a 4 out of 10. You are automatically going to be limited onto that level. It's like you putting your skills into melee combat and then you go into the fight and use magic. It doesn't really work. You're going to be limited based on your stats, and your stats are in the wrong place. If you start to communicate better, things are going to improve automatically because more often than not, we are much better at certain crafts than we are at communicating them. There's one thing that has changed my life by so much. I don't know if you want to do it, but you can take this whole idea onto different places. Think about maybe taking a job on the side or taking a complete change when it comes to your job. I've gone into sales. And let me promise you, after having been there for over 3 years, I can tell you it was the best thing I've done in my entire life. I've had sweats of fear, I've faced rejection 1,000 times, and I've doubted myself thousands of times. And I can't be more thankful for all of that. Because if I have the things that I have in my life right now, they are because I've learned to communicate better through these ways. It's not that you need to be in sales, it's about challenging yourself. It's about going out there and doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. You, right now, are in an area where you have leveled up to the limits. You don't gain any experience anymore from the mobs that you're killing right now. There's nothing to be gained. You need to start progressing. But that also leads us to the next problem. What do we exactly skill for? Number two is to understand which build you're going for. In Path of Exile, you have thousands of build options, and you in life have the same. So if you go ahead and decide to build your character, you should think about where you want to go towards. What kind of character are you building right now? In that game, you can decide to go for melee, you can decide to go for magic ones, specific skills, specific stats, different ways to go about it. The whole idea with this in real life is that you need to think about what kind of person are you trying to become. You don't need to perfectly have a picture. You don't need to clearly have an idea. But if you do what I did in Path of Exile, you just spec different things, random things, at some point you're going to walk into a wall because it's just not good for the thing you're trying to achieve. So if you go ahead with somewhat of a plan, somewhat of what you want to accomplish, maybe you want to become better at career, maybe you want to build your body and shape it. You need to then think about what I need to do in order to get better at those things, and then find those areas, so to speak, where you can still gain some experience. Just like in video games, however, you don't want to go into a place where you're level 10 and you're at the area where the enemy is level 50. You're going to suffer and probably die a lot. Well, not in real life. You get the idea. You're in the wrong place. You're doing something that is way too challenging, way out of your league. Find something that's level 12, level 13. If you're very confident, go for level 15. It's gonna push you forward, going outside of your comfort zone, but just enough. Find that area, think about it. You need to truly get away from your distractions a little bit. That also leads us to the next problem. How do we get away from all of these distractions that we have? If I could point you to one habit that has allowed me to bring more thought into my life, feel better. There are times, even these days, even though I've progressed so much, where I feel tired, agitated, as if life's not moving forward. And there's one thing that has always, and I mean always, improved the situation and made me feel better, made me think about life. It's to go walking. Brother, number three, go for walks. I can promise you, there's nothing that a walk doesn't do better. Nothing. Go into nature, go outside, go without headphones, and simply walk. And you're going to find that this is like medicine. You're going to process your emotions. You're going to be outside in fresh air. That's going to do a lot of things with you, with aerosols and so on and so on. We're not going to go into scientific details here. But the thing is, you're going to truly think about your life a little bit more. That is also going to give you the option to actually execute number two, to find your build. Where are you trying to go? And who are you trying to become? If we take me as an example, I wanted to become a much more confident person. I really, truly wanted a relationship. So I had to sit down, or in that case, go for a walk, and think about what kind of skills am I lacking and what do I need to do in order to improve those skills. The problem with doing these things is that you're faced with rejection. When you go ahead and improve your life or try to, there's going to be rejection. You're going to face your own fears. But I've learned to reframe this whole thing. We think of rejection as such a bad thing. If there's one thing that sales has taught me, it's that rejection is a good thing. And I basically see it like experiments that I'm having. I'm putting out a theory that whatever I'm about to say, whatever I'm about to do, is going to work out. Your thesis either becomes true or it becomes false. That's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. It's just experience that you're gaining. Just like with video games, where you are in an area where you can still kill mobs that give you XP, you're gonna level up, eventually become so strong that the thing you're doing there is just not really challenging anymore. And you need to move on. Life's basically the same. These are things that have changed my life and put my life upside down. You literally need to imagine someone who is stuck inside of his room, literally addicted to video games, doing nothing else but playing video games for 10, 12 hours a day, not capable of talking to anyone. Literally, if there was a female in the room, I would freeze up. My whole idea was to just be quiet and be shy, not make any noise, otherwise they would notice me. But I thought that would be cool. They're going to be attracted to me because I'm so cool. I'm not showing any emotions. It's not about relationships today, so point for another day. The thing I'm trying to tell you is that with these four steps, with these four things and mindset shifts that I have done, my life completely changed. And I would say they are the basis for doing and achieving anything you would like in life. However, the problem with changing your life is that we often fantasize that this whole thing, changing ourselves, is going to be this cakewalk. And becoming a better communicator and becoming more confident is just going to be easy and fun. But the reality is actually kind of different. It's that confidence is not really comfortable, but there are ways to change it and make it much easier. And if you want to find out how I did that, you should check out this video right here.